What's up guys, welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your OG Tenacious D fan, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/MaliciousCompliance. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode. This story's called, I Will Get Paid for Time Worked, One Way or Another. I'm more a passive-aggressive person than malicious compliance. But here's a story that fits the definition. Nobody explicitly told me to do or not to do the thing, but it's built into our work policy, so I complied. I work in a nursing home as a certified nursing assistant on a night shift. Despite what people might think, we do not sit around watching TV, reading, twiddling our thumbs, and eating candy all night. We help people get ready/go to bed. We answer call lights, which could be for anything from I'm thirsty, lonely, or bored. Although they don't say that, they just come up with little random things for you to do for them. Constantly. 2, they have to go to the bathroom, to hey, I just projectile vomited everywhere and need to be cleaned up, and anything in between. And then we have rounds where we toilet/turn people who can't do it on their own. And between taking care of residents, because in theory they're sleeping most of the night, we have other duties that basically boil down to tidy up after evening shift, clean/wipe things down, and get things prepped so day shift has one less thing to worry about. All of that is to explain, I'm on my feet, and usually doing some significant lifting, pushing, or pulling for 8/10 of my shift, from 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m., when a body wants to be sleeping. For every 4 hours, you get a 15-minute break, so 8 hours equals 30 minutes. Unpaid time, where you are off the floor and not answering lights or taking care of people. I was gonna say this is state mandated for nursing, but then wasn't actually sure. It's always been in my work's policy handbook, but sometimes they go above and beyond what's strictly required. If you can't take a break, for example being short-staffed and not having enough people to cover, we have no break slips we can fill out, giving the reason, and have our direct supervisor sign it. You work a certain number of hours, and it's assumed you had your mandated break unless you indicate otherwise. I say we have them, but it might be more accurate to say used to, because fairly recently, we were told we were going to get a mark against us for every time we didn't take a break. So many marks equals probation, which essentially lowers your raise increase that year. I'm not sure why this went into effect, if people were abusing it and going, oh, I don't need a break, I'll just work through and sign a slip. I don't know. I should mention these slips also have a spot for forgot to clock in or out. They may have said not to use the slips more to deter people from forgetting and needing it manually entered into the payroll system, but it boils down to the same thing. An extra half hour, especially with night shift differential, and especially with weekend shift differential, is nothing to sneeze at. However, I want a half hour where I can sit down and play on my phone, so I only use them when I legitimately worked all shift without a break. So I didn't care about the marks, since there was literally no way for me to take a break if we're short-staffed all night. My facility has 6 halls in 2 different neighborhoods, and at night, there's 1 aide for each hall, and 1 nurse to cover 3 halls/1 neighborhood. If we're short, we're SOL for a lot of things. There were a couple of times where I'd ask about a slip, my nurse, only direct supervisor on site, would agree, and come morning when I have the slip filled out, I couldn't find her. I don't consider it malicious/hiding from me. End of shift is crazy. They could be anywhere, but I wasn't gonna hunt them down across 3 halls. I just want to go home and pass out. So I just eat it. Screw it, I'm too tired to care, basically. But then we hear about the demerits for using a no-break slip, and I'm just fed up with administration most of the time anymore. I will get paid for the time I worked on the floor. And if that's from 10 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. plus, because I help out day shift and it's a legit miracle if I actually clock out at my end shift time. By God, I'm gonna get paid for all 8.5 hours plus. And most of the time, I'm not ready to clock out until 7 a.m., which, if you've been following along, is an entire 9 hours on my feet, half of it running my ass off. Most of the time, I only get to eat because I blatantly disregard the no purses at the desk rule and bring my lunch in my purse and can cram a few mouthfuls in throughout the night. So I can't fill out a no break slip. I'm required to take a 30-minute unpaid break on the clock. I can't when we're short. Fine. You've probably guessed by now, but I started getting everything done at the end of shift, and then sat my happy butt down in the break room for half an hour, walked down the hall, and clocked out to leave. Which means I'd be clocking out at 7:30, an hour after my shift was supposed to end. Nobody has said anything to me, although I haven't been secretive about it because I'm bitter about the whole BS thing. But finally, we've been getting fully staffed thanks to new hires. And even last night, when we were short all night and a nurse known for being kinda lazy, not wanting to work the floor, was my supervisor. She came over and asked if I wanted to go on break. So clearly someone has said/heard something. Yeah, you go girl, you get that break, you earned it. Nurse jobs are crazy, hectic, crazy. I could never work a nurse job because of dealing with all the difficult patients and feces everywhere. This story's called "It Is Your Truck After All." Background. Automobile insurance adjusters navigate a valley filled with mendacity and misrepresentation. For every 10 people I spoke with, at least half either omitted something material, lied, or committed fraud. If mendacity actually smelled like death, then I was surrounded by an ever-present stench. This story of malicious compliance is one way to clear the air. Helpful points. The named insured on a policy is required to follow the insurance policy contract to obtain coverage. Usually, the DMV will have the name of the lender on the title. A total loss vehicle is stored around 45 to 60 days before storage charges start. Story. Mr. Debtor had a very fancy, new-to-him, fix-or-repair daily truck. That truck had every conceivable option and was ultimately an overpowered vehicle for an inexperienced driver. Surprise! Mr. Debtor wrecked that piece of excrement within 3 months of purchasing it. If you're gonna wreck it, then go all out. This vehicle had a completely smashed front end with all airbags deployed, rollover damage to all panels, frame damages, broken glass, and, of course, most of the engine compartment obliterated. In short, this car is called a total loss. The cost to repair the vehicle is more than 75% of its value, and it's not a feasible repair. Mr. Debtor's minor physical injuries were eclipsed by the mortal blow received by his pride. He let me know how I was directly responsible for his drunk driving crash, his injuries, and that I needed to go to hell and live there. This was the first call. Lovely. Fast forward, and I've given Mr. Debtor an offer to resolve his total loss. I check the DMV. No lender is listed on the title. Here's the total loss call. We're ready to settle this claim for you. Do you have the title?
Yes.
Do you have a loan on the car?
No, of course not.
Insert a long and misogynistic rant regarding his wealth, status, and superiority. Thank you for sharing. I can come meet with you today, sign the title transfer, and give you the funds as you're listed as the owner.
No, I have to get the title out of the safe deposit boxes at the bank.
Over the next 60 days, Mr. Debtor hems and haws about this title for over 2 months. Every week I call him and mail a letter regarding the need to sign and mitigate damages, towing, storage, etc. Which brings us to the phone call that let the fresh breeze in. The phone call that changes everything. 10:30 a.m. Monday. Hi, it's been a while and I'm still needing that title from you to settle your claim.
You're harassing me.
No, sir, I'm fulfilling my obligations to you as a customer. I need to get your title to pay your claim back.
You listen here. You are on my schedule, not the other way around. You think you're...
Insert elevator music of curses, insults, and misogyny. Sir, I'm just trying to save you the hassle of dealing with the truck. Storage is starting soon.
I'm going to call you when I'm good and ready. You'll get the title then. If you call me again, I'm filing a police report. It's your car. Deal with it.
Mr. Debtor has given me a clear and unmistakable indicator that he is not cooperating and is in violation of his contractual responsibilities. I can't abandon salvage. I can, however, do this. 11 a.m. Monday. Hi, salvage vendor. You have Mr. Debtor's truck on the lot. He's not ready to resolve his claim. Can you tow it back to 123 Debtor Hell Lane? Yes, that's right. In his driveway, please. And with that, Mr. Debtor's wondrous wreck of a vehicle is towed to his property. 1 p.m. Monday.
What the hell? The HOA called. You can't leave that in my driveway. I'll sue you. My neighbors are asking questions.
Insert the rant. Hi, Mr. Debtor. I'm sorry for the confusion. You see, the truck is yours after all. You're on the title and have refused to help me process this claim. As you requested, the vehicle will remain on your property until you're ready.
My HOA is finding me. You must pick up the truck now.
No, you still haven't provided the title. When you're ready, let me know. Is there anything else I can help you with?
You can't do this.
Sir, the truck is yours. You've refused to complete the paperwork and I have no legal standing to store the vehicle indefinitely. Remember that valley of mendacity I mentioned before? Brace. 3, 2, 1.
I'm broke, title pawn.
I'm sorry?
I don't have the title. It's that I'm broke, title pawn.
I will not call him a liar. I will not call him a liar. I will not call him a liar. Oh, sorry that I misunderstood that you had the title. Can you give me their number? And with that, the dragon was slayed. I called the subprime, high-interest title pawn company. They were surprised to learn about the vehicle being wrecked, and the balance remaining? $3,200 and 13 months. Mr. Debtor thought we were going to hold his wreck for 13 months. He signed and the lender was paid. Oh, the vehicle. I had signed the paperwork in hands and had the vehicle picked up on Tuesday morning. Well, I understood very little of what that was, but you car insurance nerds will get a kick out of that one. This story's called, You Do Not Want the Money I Owe You? Okay then. This happened last year. I'm a college student in a city 250 kilometers away from home, and both my parents are truck drivers, so they're also far away from home most of the time. Because of that, sometimes I am the one who has to handle some things that have to be done in person. In this case, I had to sign my name with a new internet provider because we were having problems with the previous one. I did that in December of the previous year, and the contract lasted until December last year. However, at some point in June, my parents decided to change to a different one because they were getting some very nice benefits and better speeds with it. But because we had signed for 1 year, we either had to keep paying the monthly bill until it expired or pay a compensation, which was more expensive. So we decided to just pay those months and forget about it. The problem started in November, when I forgot to check my bank account balance, and since I do not have overdrafts active, the provider had not been able to charge the monthly fee because it was more money than I had. Since they get to charge you more for late payments, they did not inform me of that until December, when I went to the office to sign the needed documents to stop the service. They told me that I would have to pay both months and the late payment fees, which, if I remember correctly, was around 150 euros total. Obviously, I was angry because we had been paying 6 months for a service we were not using, but it was still my fault for not checking my account balance. So I did not argue. Then they also told me that I had to return the equipment. Thing is, until recently, internet providers in my country did not really care that much if you return the equipment because they use the cheapest options available. But when they realized they could charge you huge fees for not returning it, they all started asking for it. The problem with that was that since for the last 6 months we had been using a different provider with their own equipment, we had stored the old one somewhere around the house, since we had not been informed about returning it after that. It ended up getting lost when we did some renovations in the house. After searching for the equipment the whole afternoon with no luck, I gave up and decided to read the contract to see how much I would have to pay. After going through the whole 10-page thing a few times, the only part related to equipment that I could find was a single sentence stating that when the contract is terminated, the customer must return the equipment. And if something is damaged or missing, the company name has the right to charge the customer the value of said part as compensation. Since I am a computer science student and know my tech, I knew that what they had given me costed around 50 euros retail price. So I went to the bank and took 200 euros out to pay for everything. When I arrived, this is the conversation I had with the girl at the desk. Hi, we talked earlier today and I'm here to pay what I owe you. Sure, that will be 150 euros. Do you have the equipment with you? About that. I'm sorry, but I think I lost it. Are you sure? If that's the case, we will have to charge you 90 euros for it. 90 euros? That's way too much. I'm sorry about that, but it is in the contract you've signed. Well, I have read the contract a few times, and I am quite sure it says you can charge me what the equipment costs. Exactly, and that will be 90 euros. I refuse to pay that unless I see a receipt or any other document that shows the equipment you gave me cost 90 euros. I'll have to make a call for that. Excuse me for a minute. She goes to the back room and calls what I guess was her manager, and after some muffled phone talk, she came back. Sorry for the wait. I have been informed that I cannot give you the information you are requesting. Well, then I'm going to pay you the 150 euros, and we can terminate the contract. Sorry, but you have to pay the 240 euros to do that. I am not going to pay $90 for a brand and model router that cost no more than 50 euros in any store, and much less for one that you have bought in bulk for even less than that. Then we have to take legal action for the 240 euros and you will be blacklisted. I am not saying I will not pay the 2 months I legally owe you. I just won't pay the 90 euros without proof that it's what the equipment costs. I have the 150 right here. I proceed to put the 150 euros on the counter. Sorry, but the amount you owe us is 240 euros, and we cannot terminate the contract if you don't pay the full amount. Are you saying you won't take the 150 euros? Exactly. Okay. I took my money and left. After that, I wrote an email to the company explaining that I wanted to pay the 2 months I owed them, but that I would not pay anything unless I had a receipt to have some written proof in case they actually decided to take legal action. I did not get a reply. A few weeks later, I got a call asking about the 240 euros, and I told them that I was busy at the moment, but that they could send me an email with the details. I never heard back from them. Dude, you are a champ. You read a 10-page contract multiple times to save 90 euros. I'm sorry, man. Yes, 90 euros is a considerable amount of money. Definitely over $100, but reading a 10-page contract multiple times? No, I'm not reading anything. I'd rather just pay the money. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.